They were coming closer to Maddie's hiding place. There were a dozen of them, spread out in a long cordon, 5 meters apart and covering 60 meters of territory. Each one carried a flaming torch, holding it high to dispel the gathering gloom of twilight. She was approaching the line of searchers head-on. If she could break through the line, or simply remain unseen while they passed her, she would be free and clear. Actually, hiding place was something of an overstatement for Maddie's position. She was simply lying prone, covered from head to toe by her cloak, among knee-high, dried stalks of grass. In the fields on either side of the one she had selected to hide in, the grass grew waist-high, waving gently in the early evening breeze. It would have provided better concealment from the dozen men searching for her, but she had chosen the shorter grass for a reason. They would expect a fugitive to seek concealment in the longer grass, so they would look more carefully there. The short stubble where she lay provided only scant cover, and the searchers would study the ground with less attention to detail, assuming they would easily spot someone trying to stay concealed there. At least, that was what she hoped when she had selected her current path through the searchline. In addition, the fields on either side were narrower, so the searchers would be closer together. Since they'd expect her to be hiding there, they would pay greater attention to the ground and any abnormalities they might see there. Like a huddled shape under a grey-green ranger cloak. The uncertain light also gave her an advantage. The sun had sunk below the horizon, and only a reflection of its light remained in the western sky. It cast long shadows and pools of darkness across the rough surface of the field, and instead of aiding the searchers, the light from the pitch-fed torches was flickering and uneven, making their task even more difficult as it shifted and wavered. She could sense the yellow glow of one of the torches now as a searcher came closer. She resisted the unbearable temptation to look up and see where he was. Her face was darkened by the mud and grime she had smeared on it before setting out to break through the cordon. But even so, it would shine as a pale oval in the dusk, and the movement would be even more noticeable. She lay, face down, her eyes fixed on the stalks of dry grass a few centimetres from her face, seeing the yellow torchlight creeping over them, casting shadows that gradually shortened as the source of light grew closer and closer. Her heart pounded in her chest as she heard the rustle of boots. She could hear the blood pulsing in her ears like a drumbeat. Trust the cloak. The old mantra, drummed into her brain over and over by her mentor, repeated itself now. The searcher couldn't hear her heartbeat. That was a fanciful notion, she knew. And if she stayed still as a corpse, he wouldn't see her either. The cloak would protect her. It always had in the past, and it would do so now.